Hello, you guys. This is Fabio Hart. Welcome back to another live video. Okay, this particular video, I don't have a curriculum, I don't have a specific topic to talk about, but I do want to come and address some things. I haven't been on, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 weeks now, so it's been quite some time, and that time space has been absolutely amazing for me and for my business. So, what I wanted to do, I told myself, I say, well, I haven't talked to my subscribers in a minute, right? I haven't seen what you guys are all about. I've been getting the emails. I'm probably about 6 weeks behind on emails. So I'm sorry, guys. We are getting the emails. My assistant Jasmine and I, as you guys know, she handled the emails. We were getting swamped with emails from my subscribers and just people that's interested in cleaning that has nothing to do with YouTube and other social media platforms. So what I wanted to do is just go live, answer you guys questions. Okay, saying that I'm not able to because, like I said, we're so behind with the emails. Okay, I've been getting asked about the startup process. I've been getting asked about banks. I've been getting asked about different ways to get contracts, things like that. And what I don't like to do is I don't like to uh, like rehash information that I already went over, right? Because a lot of my information or all of my information is pretty much valid. So that's why I like to direct or redirect you guys back to the videos here on my official Fabio Hart here on YouTube. So if you guys have any specific questions, right now is the time to go ahead and ask me. I will kind of update you on what I've been doing. Basically, the reason why you guys haven't seen me on video in such a long time, I guess, in comparison to how often I used to go live, is that I've been building my business. Okay. Building my business. I've been looking at other endeavors right outside of cleaning. You guys know I have the $5 ride. You know I have Direct Auto Network, which is an auto broker firm that I have. $5 ride transportation is just a transportation service that I start. You guys know I have Hollywood Janitorial Service, which is my janitorial side of things. And I'm just looking at other things, right? So I was looking at some real estate here and some, doing Bitcoin, and we also do MCA. I don't know if you guys heard of Motor Club of America, but I also do MCA and have representatives with that. I actually hold different like classes on that locally. So my hands is in different pots, you guys. And I believe in order for you to be successful, right? You have to start at one endeavor, make that endeavor successful, and be able to take it to the next level. Be able to do it 10x, as Grant Cardone would say. Okay, so again, I'm opening up the floor for you guys. If you have any questions, I want to go ahead and touch on those questions. I don't know exactly how long I will be going on this particular live, and I don't know when I will return. I have not forgot about you guys. I really love my subscribers. For those that, I'm sorry, guys. For those that, one second, guys. Okay. For those that I speak to on the regular, some of you guys have my number because you didn't tapped into, my paperwork, or tapped into, the lead generation, and at that time you was able to get my number because I have to make sure when I'm talking to you guys and conversing with you guys over the phone, I need to know that you're serious, right? I need to know that you're serious. I don't like wasting my time. I have $1 million mentors that I talk to and that I have to pay the cost, right, to talk to. But I don't want them to ever feel like Fabio Hart is wasting their time. Okay, so again, what I teach is common sense. It's not always common practice. Okay, what I teach is common sense. It's not always common practice. I feel like if you align yourself with people that's doing what you want to do, right, and that's credible, right, that's successful at it, why not follow that particular person? The difference is motivation. A lot of people lack motivation. I see it in the emails when we get it. Like I say, we read them. We're not always able to get back to them. It's a lot of people that call the office in regards to us helping them get into their contracts, or they have questions about it. So we get swamped. Okay. But if you guys have any questions here, what I want to do is open the floor right now. I want you to like, share, and subscribe. If you're just joining me, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Again, I want you to I want to answer your questions. I want to get your questions out there. So if you email me, you have any questions about anything, let's go ahead and take care of it right now. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I will greatly appreciate that, you guys. I just want to make sure that you know that I have not forgot about you. Okay, let's talk about employees, guys. That's a phenomenal thing. Kevin Sharp, he said, I lost an account because I wasn't I was unable to hire employees. I tried my best, but nobody would ever show up for interviews. What's your process like for hiring? Okay, here's the thing, and I get asked that a lot, guys. And I'm not the um, employee legend, so to speak, but let's just talk about that because I think that's an incredible question. Early on, when I first started off, that's why I did it so long by myself, right? That's why I tell people, a lot of people disagree with me here on YouTube, but that's why I tell people to go after smaller to medium sized accounts because those are accounts that I'm sure that I can handle myself. Okay, so it's going to get to a point, Kevin, if you really, really wanted that account, right? Despite what else you had going on. There's so many people. Sometimes you have to jump off the porch, so to speak. Sometimes you have to like get out of your own way, so to speak. Now, there has been times where I talk to people and they say, Fabio, like I have a part-time job going. I still have to be able to make ends meet on the side because this one particular account won't be able to handle all my bills. So I need to have an employee. I'm having trouble getting employees. Here's what I tell you guys. Pay attention and write this stuff down, okay? Because like I say, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, but you have to always be hiring. Always be hiring. Okay? Once you have more apps than you have positions, you're in a good position. I'm going to say that again. Once you have more apps than you have positions, then you're in a good position. Here's why. You ever go to that restaurant or you ever, see at McDonald's or see at the little bar tending place, right? It always have help wanted in the window, now hiring in the window, right? Why don't that sign ever come down? Have you ever thought about that? You're a year in, you still go, you're like, damn, that sign is always there. Why they're hiring all year round? Why they're not going to take that sign down? They're not going to take the sign down because just because it says help wanted or now hiring don't mean they necessarily have a position, but they're accepting applications. Okay? Like you ever walk into a business, they say, well, we're not hiring now, but we are accepting applications. Okay, so you always want to be accepting applications. Okay, now the reason I say this is because when you have little to no applications, you feel pressured and then you hire off an impulse. Okay, so for an example, if you got a big contract or you have a contract, right, a sizable contract, medium sized contract, right, and you need 3 people and you're just starting out, this is going to be really your first big deal, right? You need 3 people, good people to work for you, but you have 5 applications, right? Let's just say hypothetically. Okay, so you had 5 applications hypothetically, and now you have to decide through those 5 people who you're going to hire. Well, the thing is, if you have more than 5 applications, because 5 isn't a lot, you might interview all 5 people and none of them might be a good fit, or you might interview 5 people, you might have 2, but you already need 3 people. So what do? Well, you hire the 2 and then you have to put yourself in position to help those 2 clean that particular account. Okay, but see, if you have more applications than you had spots, it gives you a wide variety of people of a pool to choose from. Okay, like me, I'm always hiring. I have the magnet on my car, right? Hollywood Janitorial. We have the magnet, on the vehicles and things like that. And most of the calls that come through to my office are about employment. So I rarely, offer that magnet. I'm a big fan of it because it's visibility, but I don't necessarily pick up contracts through the magnet off the car. It really doesn't do anything for me. Okay, estimate formula. I'm coming to you, Derek. Hang tight, hang tight. So let me get back to this hiring stuff. You make sure that you always accepting applications. Always accepting applications. You have to have more applicants coming in than you have sites. Okay, then you're in a good position. Okay. If you're just joining me, I want you to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. I want you to like, share, and subscribe if you're just joining me. As you know, I don't get on here as much, so I would value my time if I were you. A lot of the people aren't going to give it to you, the way I give it to you. I've gotten emails about that to other people on YouTube and, different things. So I want you guys to be happy. I want you guys to understand how important your dedication to your business must be. It have to be a must for you. Not a should, not a could, not a I wish. It have to be a must. Okay, that desire have to be a must. So just to get back to the employees, and then I'm gonna move on to the next comment, or the next question here. Always be accepting applications. Okay, then go ahead and interview as many people as possible, even if you don't have a position. Okay. Don't feel pressured to hire somebody right off rip just because you interview them. See, when I go through an interviewing process, right, I'll let them know, well, I have other interviews to do, even if I don't have other interviews to do, because I don't want them to get in their mind that I'm necessarily going to hire them, because there's a lot to come with the hiring process, at least with me, right? So we have to do a drug screening, right? We have to do the background check, things of this sort. So just because you interview them, don't necessarily mean they're going to be a good fit for your company. But when you have more applications than you have positions, it widens the range for you. Now, where do you find employees? Okay. Again, if you send your questions in, I'm gonna answer them one by one, guys. I'm gonna take my time with it. Just put your questions up there. I'm gonna scroll up and I'm gonna answer them. Okay. Again, I don't know how long I'm gonna go. Now, where do you find employees? I'm sorry, 1 second, guys. Had a text message come in. Okay. So, where do you find employees? Well, Jesus Christ, I think 9. Okay. So, most of my employees come from word of mouth, from employees that I already have. But when you don't have no employees and you need some to start off, you have to get creative, right? Now, I've told people about, Craigslist, I've told people about Indeed. I've gotten feedback from people that say, you know what, Indeed just not working out for me. It's just bullshit, a lot of bullshit going on with Indeed. Monsters, right? You have to get creative, like the job shop. Okay, actually, recently, not too long ago, in my area on the news, they have the section of the news, the broadcast, where they call it the job shop with Fox 2. Okay, so if you're in Detroit or whatever, you kind of know what I'm talking about. You submit open jobs that you have available, and I get more inquiries through the job shop, and then they put it on their website, about whatever, and it's up for a couple weeks or whatever the case is, about whatever new job listing that you have. Okay, you can do, like a radio advertise. It does not cost a lot of money. You have to be creative when you get these people coming in, okay? Because believe it or not, there's more people than ever that's looking for a job. Kevin, is absolutely more people than ever that's looking for a job. But you have to be professional, right? Like when you go in and interview them, you can't seem like you're a friend. You have to carry yourself a certain way, okay? Because they're going to catch vibes from you just like you're going to catch vibes from them. When I hire somebody, I'm straight up, I'm very professional. I talk to them. I look them dead in their eyes when I talk. I explain what I have open, what I'm looking for. Can you do it? Can you pass the drug test? Can you pass the background screening? Why would you want to work for me? There's certain questions that you ask, right? Have you done cleaning before? You let them know what pay you're going to start them at. You let them know there's room for growth, if it's room for growth, right? So these are a lot of things that you have to think about before you even kind of go into the interview. When you look over the application, you call them, you say, hey, I want to do an over the phone interview with you. Do you have a minute? Or, hey, can you meet me at Starbucks or whatever? Jesus Christ. Can you meet me at Starbucks? I want to sit down and interview you. We looked over your application, right? So these are some of the things that you have to think about. Okay, this is just like some of the things you have to think about. Now, most of my people come through Facebook. Kevin, you're in my area, so there's a thing that's called Detroit Sell Everything, right? And you can post an ad, just a 3-4 line little ad, now hiring part-time cleaners, evening cleaners, in the such as, I'm not going to say your area here on video, in such and such area, part-time hours between such and such and such and such. If you're interested, inbox me your name and number. I'll give you a call, and then at that point you can go ahead and set up some type of meeting where you can put them on the application. Now, if you got an application portal online, you can send them the link to the application portal and have them key it in and whatever, and then it'll email you directly. We still do paper applications because I like to kind of meet and get a feel for the person. So I'm very precise. I'm very direct. I know what I'm going to ask. I use the same format with every person, so I don't switch the format up. In terms, when I say format, I'm talking about my questions that I kind of use to interview them. Then I want to, fill them out with. I need to know if they're going to be a good fit for me as well would be a good fit for them. Okay. I don't guarantee anybody positions just because I sat down and talked to them. Okay. But that's what you have to do, Kevin. You have to always be hiring. Always be hiring. Now, I find the best people to hire are retirees, people that may work at Ford Motor Company, GM, Chrysler, people that works, they're retired, middle-aged people. They're not really old, but they're not super young. I find middle-aged people or retirees. I find uh, college students to be a great help, right? And then you get everybody in between. I Mexicans, I love them. I get a lot of people that's of Mexican descent or Hispanic descent that apply. I love them. They're hardworking people, right? They get the job done. Now you got to make sure they're documented, right? You got to make sure they're legal, But a lot of them are. Like if you go to Southwest Detroit, or a lot of them are. Not everybody is undocumented, at least here in Detroit or the surrounding areas, right? So again, there's a lot of different ways. You can't just think of hiring just white or hiring just black or hiring just such and such. You want to diversify your pool, right? Because now you're going to get a diversified talent, right? Now with my company, Kevin, I hire all women for cleaning, and then my field supervisors are men. I feel like they handle that task better. I feel like women can out clean men on any day, and that's not being like racist or any or sexist or whatever the case is. But I do feel like women put in more work, at least from my perspective. Now, I've talked to people that say, Fabio, women just don't work for me, and it's okay. Sometimes it just happened, but for me, I got a good eye, or women just work extremely well. Okay, like I don't have a high turnover rate, but I've been doing it for some time. In my early stages, Kevin, what I did was I started with two people outside of myself. Okay, but I started fucking up. If you watch that my first $5 check video, the first $5 check video, you see where I kind of fucked up. I had good people, right? But then I was essentially fucking up, right? So I had to recoup from that. I lost some good people, but again, I got an eye for talent. I say what I mean what I say. I get a little bit of insurance from them. You kind of just get a feel. You just kind of get a feel. Like when you go out, you go on a date or something, right, with a girl, or if you're a female and watching this, you go out with a male. You kind of get a feel if he's going to be a good good fit for you, right? Or vice versa. Whatever the case is. So that's that. Let me go to the next question. If I didn't clarify that, Kevin, let me know, and or you can always email me or whatever the case is, and I kind of go over some more detailed stuff. But that should pretty much cover it. That's pretty much all I do. I put an ad, just to recap, I put an ad on like Detroit Sell Everything, or Macomb County Employment, or Oakland County Employment, or Wayne County Employment, now hiring, right? You can get flyers and postcards and things like that printed up that you can always, and just because you have it, Kevin, don't mean you have to pass them all out at one time, right? You can get a magnet on your car. Like I'd be at the stoplight, right? I'm driving down, let's say Woodward Avenue. People standing at the bus stop. I'm waiting on the light to turn green. I see them all the time. Take a picture of my car. Take a picture of my car, and then they call me. A lot of times, hours later, whatever the case. Oh, I seen you on Woodward. I seen you at the store. I seen your car at Kroger's. I seen your car at Walmart, right? And I just want to know if you guys are hiring, if you have any positions open, right? Again, always accept applications. Don't say, no, we don't have any positions right now. Just say, yes, we are always hiring. When would you be able to fill out an application? Just that simple. Again, you don't have them come to your house. You meet them at McDonald's if you have to. There's no certain spot that you have to, go to Starbucks, wherever you want to go, in a library, wherever the case you want to meet them at, right? But that's how I would suggest that you do it. You get that little magnet on your car that says about your business, and maybe your company number or your business number or whatever on there. Your phone's going to get the ringing. Now, it might not be about getting new contracts, but you would get a lot of employees that come through that. Trust me, I know. I can be at the mall and I have it, right on my car, bam. And people are called sometimes when I'm in the mall, right? Are you guys hiring? I seen your car at such and such a mall, Great Lakes Crossing, and I need to know, are you hiring? Yes, we're always hiring. What's your name? What's your number? Okay, well, what I need you to do is text your name or email your number, whatever the case is, right? And then you just phone them back. you know, if you're out and about and you can't handle that call right now, you have them send they text their name and number directly to your line, and then you'll be able to, you know, talk to them later and set something up, or at least you can put them on the application and fill them out. Okay. But that's what I would suggest that you do. Always be hiring. Always have more applications coming in than you have positions available. Okay. And never guarantee a job. Never guarantee. If you don't feel comfortable, just tell the person, hey, I got other interviews to do. We're going to review everything. And if we're interested, we're going to give you a call back today before 5. Right? You kind of see how I handle that. So that way you don't feel like you're obligated to tell them you're going to hire them. Because sometimes you feel that way just because you sat down like, I should hire them. Okay? Just let them know we got other people to interview, other people to talk to, and we get back to you today before 5. Right? Whether you have other people or not, it's just give you time to kind of process it and think about if you want to hire that particular individual. Okay? Let me go to the next one. What's the best estimate formula? There's really no such thing as the best estimate formula, Derek. I wish I could sit here and tell you, you know, a 1, 2, 3 ABC way to estimate accounts. There's really no particular way. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. You can, you know, estimate through the rolling wheel and the measuring the length times the width. You heard me talk about it before. Like I use personally my estimate breakdown sheet, which haven't let me down. You know, you can use, they got the laser thing now, with the new technology, you can estimate your length times the width, but there's really no right or wrong way. And I don't care what other YouTubers will tell you here, there's really no right way to come up with the estimate. There's multiple ways you can do it. Some people do work loading software, right? Where they rent this software program and they key in the numbers and input the you know, the measurements and stuff into the software program, and then it tell them what quote they should, you know, quote. It'll personally do the proposal for you, and then it tell you what you should charge. Not a big fan of that, and here's why. I had probably about 2 or 3 months back, or maybe 2.5 months ago, I talked to a young lady. She's my subscriber. She has this work loading software, and she had a 2,500 square foot facility, not 25,000, a 2,500 square foot facility. She rented this software, right? This through a company that I'm familiar with that I won't announce here. And it told her that she should charge $440. Was it 400? $440 for a 2,500 square foot building. I told her for, you know, I asked her, you know, how many days a week. It was like 2 days a week. And I said, well, is it just general cleaning or is it extra cleaning? Like I had to get a little intel about what the job consists of, what she would be doing. And I told her, I do not think that she's going to get it. That's a bit much, could be considered a bit much for a building that size. It's not a 2,500 square foot. It's not really a huge building. It's not a large building. So I told her, I said, well, you might want to drop the price down. We talked about numbers. I suggested what I would probably charge for that. Considering she was only doing it 2 times a week, she got the account. Okay. I told her, I don't believe you're going to get the account at $440 based on the information that you fed me and based on how many times a week and how long it's going to take you to clean it. I just don't think they're going to pay out $440 for that particular building. Right. And I helped her over the phone, again, based with the information that she had, and she got the account. Now, I'm not always winning with it, but that's just an example to show you how or why I'm not such a big fan of work loading software. Okay, so again, I just work off of just a one sheet system, one sheet base that I've been using since 2012. You guys heard me talk about it before, my estimate breakdown sheet, and that's how I come up with the price. Okay, but there's a lot of different ways. I mean, a lot of different ways online. Some people go by just the market base, you know, the square footage, 25, 35 cents per square footage type of thing. Me, I don't base the price per hour until I'm getting into a 10,000 square foot plus building. You know, we like this facility is what I would want to charge by the hour. Most of the smaller to medium sized building, you guys charge a flat fee. Charge a flat fee or charge a what I like to call a package deal rate. where you put these little packages together. You guys heard me talk about it before. I'm a big fan of that, especially if you're just starting off. If you're just starting off now, you want to have a package deal because it gives you options. It gives you options, and we all like options. When you just give us one basic way to do something, and we got to do it that way, or we just are the only option, then we'll take it. We might not be too fond of it, but we'll take it. But when you give us multiple options, right? There you go. You know, I like to use the cereal analogy, right? We got Kellogg's, we got Post, and then we got the Walmart brand, right? Well, if your money is a little funny, right, you might want to do the Walmart brand because you might not have the top dollar for Kellogg's, right? Or for a Post brand, which is like a second, you know, it's not as expensive like Kellogg, but it's a pretty expensive brand, right? But you might go the Walmart route. So because that's where your money is, that's what you can afford right now. So you buying these Frosty Flakes, and you got the Post brand, or you have the Kellogg's brand, and then you have the Walmart brand, right? The only difference is Kellogg might have a little bit more sugar than the Walmart brand, but essentially they taste the same, right? So it gave you an option. But if all they had on the shelf was Kellogg's, right, for Frosty Flakes, then that's your, either you're gonna get that cereal or you're not gonna get that cereal. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. I'm a big fan of package deals. Put together a package deal, right? You know, your basic package, your intermediate, your in the middle package, or intermediate package, and then you have your like your platinum package, or you can say your gold package, your silver package, your platinum package, right? Whatever label you want to give it, right? Have different packages, because that within itself will help your business like tenfold, especially in the very beginning. And I used that in the very beginning too, because I had a problem with what I was going to charge. I had a little help because I had ordered this course called Your Clean Future, and it came, the form came with the course that helped me, but I was still having problems, and I used this package deal. You heard me? So after that, boom, I started making, moves, once I started getting these different packages and giving them options, I started making, the type of moves that I wanted to make. And I'm still a big fan of it today. Like if I was just starting off, or if I was going to do something, sometimes I would use it. But now I got an eye, since I've been doing it for so long, I kind of can walk in a facility and know how much I'm going to charge based on what needs to be done and how many days it needs to be done. Okay. So again, for smaller to medium size, do a flat rate, guys. Do a flat rate. Here's why. Because when you try to build something by the hour on these like smaller accounts, number one, if you got a 1,500 square foot, you're not going to make too much money on that, billing that by the hour, because it's only going to take you an hour, maybe hour and a half to clean, depending on how you clean. 1,500 square foot, take me about an hour, right? Especially when you get in down to a science, once you know the building, you know what needs to be done, right? Take me about an hour. So if I charge, $15, $20 an hour, that's all I'm going to make, right? But if you have a flat rate, I don't know, it's a net. If you have a flat rate, you could charge that entire facility just $50 for the whole cleaning, even though it's going to take you an hour to clean. So it sounds more attractive to them when you say, it'll just be $50 per cleaning. Okay, opposed to saying, I'm going to charge you $30 per hour. They might look at you like $30 per hour when I can hire a kid off the street that I pay him $11, $10 an hour, right? And he's only going to do it for an hour, hour and a half, right? So again, when you get into the larger size accounts, then I would more concentrate on the square footage. This works for me, guys. Again, it's no right and wrong way to do it. You might see another YouTuber, he or she might tell you a different way to do it. It worked for me. When you're doing smaller to medium-sized accounts, I would suggest that you have a package deal. Use the package formula, right, where you have these different packages. So here's your basic package, sir. Here's the middle package, sir. And here's our platinum package, or here's our gold, our silver, and our platinum package, sir. Which one would be more attractive? Which one do you think would stand for you? So once you get a feel for what they need done, you can tell them, well, Sir, that look like that would be our gold package, or that look like that would be our silver package. And they might say, well, no, I don't want the silver. You say, okay, well, if you want the just a basic package, yeah, we can do that. That's just for general cleaning. Now, if you have extra work, there's going to be extra fees attached to that. But based on this package, it's just for general cleaning. We're just doing a general cleaning. Okay. And then your second package, you're going to do the general cleaning plus a little more. And then your grandstand package or your platinum package, you're going to do the general cleaning plus a little bit more, plus a little bit more, because you're going to be charging more, right? So your first package might be, and I like to use this a lot, $49.95, $39.95. Like, you ever wonder why on infomercials, and I'm gonna get back on topic, but you wonder why when you watch infomercials and they sell ink pens and erasers and all of this, and they say order today and you can get one for $19.95, and if you call in the next 3 minutes, we're gonna throw two extra ones in for just no extra cost. It's just $19.95. Well, why didn't they just say $20, right? Because $19.95, they understand when you say $19.95, it seems like less. It seems like it's not a lot of money as $20, right? If you tell somebody, well, $19.95 or whatever the case is, that seems more attractive than just saying $20. Or if you tell somebody that's going to be $9.95, people are like, yeah, I got $9.95, but it sounds a lot attractive than just saying $10, rounding it up to $10. So I'm a big fan of that. So if you do your package deals, guys, you can do, this package for $49. This is going to be your regular package, right? Just follow me, guys. This basic package can be $49.95. Your next package can be $69.95, and your big package can be $89.95, right? It's just depending on what they need done. Okay, based on the walkthrough and what they said done, you can let them know, well, sir, here's our layout. You can show them your little brochure, your flyer, wherever you have there. You can let them know, well, we have a basic package here. We have the middle package there, and we have our platinum package here. Okay, and based on what it looked like you need done, we'll be able to get you done today for, bam. And that's just based on your structure, what you have there. Or like I said, you can just do it by you have a set price. Build your own like spreadsheet, like what I have, the estimate breakdown sheet. I have everything systematically laid out. I have everything systematically laid out on the sheet, and I use that sheet to the hilt, right? Again, so if you're going big accounts, like you're looking at 10,000 square feet and things like that and bigger, then I will go by, the 25 cent per square foot, 35 cent per square foot system, or you can go by a whole different dynamic. You can charge more by the hour. Like this place where I'm at, I gave you guys a tour of this before, so you kind of know the dynamics of what we're working with here. This is by the hour, okay? This is by the hour here because we're here for a great deal of time. So I would charge this by the hour, opposed to maybe a local dentist office that's 2,000 square feet. I just charge that as a flat rate. It makes more sense to me to charge it as a flat rate. Okay, because if you got a local dentist office, it's going to take you 2 hours to clean, and you try to bill them for, whatever, $35 an hour or whatever the case. Well, you're only going to get $35 for that cleaning, right? You're only going to get $35 for that cleaning, but you might be able to get $50 for that cleaning, right? If you just did it at a base rate, or $55 for that cleaning. Right? So you think $30 for the hour versus $50 for a flat rate that we know only going to take you an hour, right? Or maybe an hour and a half, right? So who else in an hour and a half make $55 in just a basic typical job? That's the way I look at it, right? So you got to think like, okay, because they can easily have somebody come in and they could have that person clean that facility for $10 an hour. $11 an hour, right? And they're only going to make $11 for 1 hour, or, half, 11 and a half if it takes a half an hour, an hour and a half, I'm sorry, right? So again, there's no right or wrong way. It's just once you build that system, whether you do a package deal or whether you do it like a flat rate, when you build that system, you just want to document it. You just want to document it. So you be able to systematically be able to put your numbers in a lot wiser. Like like I said, I'm a big fan of the estimate break of my estimate breakdown sheet. So that's kind of all I've been using. And again, my company have exploded. Again, that's why I haven't been on YouTube so often. I've been picking up new contracts, new accounts, right? And again, even out of state, Atlanta and Ohio. Again, just because I'm not there, don't mean that I want my business to be stagnant. I don't want to be just just positioned. I want to be over positioned, right? So in order for that to happen, the business have to continue to run even with me not being there, which means not only do it have to be able to run smoothly, my cleaners cleaning up, everything like that, but I have to still be able to pick up new contracts even though I'm not there, right? So again, and that comes with training and some of you guys kind of know what I'm saying. A lot of you guys haven't reached that point yet, but again, you still have to be able to pick contracts up even if you're not there. So that comes with training the people that you have working, your field supervisors, or people that work on your behalf. Okay, so, and I've been picking up contracts across the board, and I use the same formula. I use it for Atlanta. I used it for Ohio. I use it for Michigan. I used it for VA, right? We got Indiana because we got this one account I told you guys about where we picked up the account in Indiana and Chicago, right? It's the same format. Let me see. It's your breakdown. Yep. It's typically square footage. The Fluent one. It's typically square footage. My estimate breakdown is like, for an example, it'll say 1,000 square feet to 2,000 square feet. You charge this per hour, and then this per a flat rate per cleaning, right? And then it'll say from 2,000 square feet to 4,000 square feet, so forth and so forth. So we always have to adjust. Yeah, you're going to charge that, James. You're going to charge it multiple times. Good question. I'm currently charging a flat rate per clean. Great, James. You're on the right part. You're on the right track, man. Continue to charge it, but you're gonna multiply it. So, for an example, if it's a 3 time a week account and it's $50, then that's going to be $50 per cleaning. Okay, $50 per cleaning. Again, I'm a big fan of just flat rate charging. It's simple. When you charge it by the hour, and another thing you have to watch out for is when you charge it by the hour, they kind of watch it. Sometimes I've known people, they have secret cameras set up in the office just to see like how long you're cleaning. That's different, how long you've been there and how long you clean. And then when you go to invoice them, you're going to look kind of silly because they know about how long you've been there, right? They know when you came in. Sometimes they come in on a humbug. I didn't have people to walk in while we were actually cleaning after hours, right? Because you never know. They say, "Oh, sir, hey, Fabio, hey, such and such. I just left my bag. I got to come and get my bag." And we're there already cleaning, right? They come in and leave. And sometimes they come in after you're supposed to be there. They know, okay, the cleaning crew is going to be here from 6 to 8, whatever the case is. And they'll come in after 8 just to check on the facility and this and this and make some notes and this and that, right? And then tomorrow morning, they already know if you've been there for the 4 hours or they know if you've been there 2 hours, whatever the case is. So it just makes things a lot better where you don't have to worry about it. So if it took you 4 hours to clean, you're still going to get the $50 or the $55. If it took you 1 hour to clean, you're still going to get the $50 or the $55. Okay, it just simplified things for me. But if you're doing it multiple days a week, let's say you got a 2, and if you know me, you guys know I love once per week accounts, twice per week accounts, and 3 times per week accounts. I'm an incredible big fan of that. Incredible. Okay. You don't necessarily have to work 7 days to make an absolute fortune in this industry. You don't have to work 5 days to make an absolute fortune in this business. Okay. 3 days, especially in the very beginning for me, because I still wanted to have a life, but I still wanted to build business. 3 days was phenomenal for me. A 3 day a week per week account was absolutely phenomenal for me. Now we got 5 days a week. We got day porter accounts when we're working, a straight 8 hours. Right. And then you have an afternoon crew that come in and pick up from your morning crew, or you have like an evening. Yeah, well, I guess it'd be afternoon crew. Right. They come in and they pick up from 3 to whatever. Right. That's when you're dealing with day porter. That's a whole different type of dynamic. But like I said, in the very beginning, when you're looking at smaller to medium sized buildings, guys, charge a flat rate, or charge a like a package rate. Package rate. You have like your gold package, you have your silver package, you have your platinum package. Okay, and the only thing that separate those packages is the job that's being done. Obviously, your gold package is going to be your basic package. Your silver package is going to be the gold package plus a little bit more, right, for the extra cleaning and whatever you got to do. Okay, and if they want the big shebang, they want this and the whole shot, then they can get the platinum package, right? And the rates are already they know what they would charge for that. You can actually have that with you when you go in, and now it's just a matter of writing it up. At that point, you just write it up on your estimate form or your proposal form. You write it up and submit the estimate in, based on the detailed work and with the notes you jot down from your walkthroughs and things of that sort, and go ahead and submit that estimate. Okay, and you're going to charge once again, you're going to bill them per day for however many days. So if you're doing it for $45 per cleaning, then it's going to be $45 times 3. Okay, you add that up, that's what you made gross for the week. Okay, and then you're going to multiply that by 4 weeks or 4.3 weeks. Okay, because you got those months where you got a fifth week or 4 week plus 3 days, extra, you got those weeks where it's like 5 weeks. So you're not going to round it up to 5, you do 4.3. Okay, 4 weeks, 0.3 days. Okay, so, but most months are 4 weeks. So if you're doing it at $45, check me out, guys. You're doing it at $45, then that'll be $45 times 3 if you're doing it 3 times a week. That'll be $45 times 2 if you're doing it 2 times a week. Okay, now I always tell people the more days you work, the less you could charge. The more days you work, the less you could charge. Okay, the key word in that sentence is could. That don't mean you have to charge less, but you could charge less. Sorry about that, guys. But the less you could charge. Okay, so the more days you work, the less you could charge, because you're going to make it up in volume. You're going to make it up in the more days, right? So you could charge a little less. But when you're doing like once a week, then that will be a little bit more pricey, because you have to make a profit, right? You have to make it up. So if you're doing just a once a week account, you could charge them $60, right? Just to clean it for once a week. For them, $60 isn't shit. They'd be like, yeah, that's just $60, right? But really, you kind of overcharge that particular facility based on the work. And you have to overcharge it a little bit because you have to make it up, because you're not in there as much. So you're going to charge a little bit more, right? So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. The more days you work, the less you could charge. Okay, the less days you work, the more you want to charge. Okay, because you have to make it up. You're not in there enough to really even make a profit on that. If you're just doing it for the 40, right? The 45 or whatever the case is. So you'll mark that up to like $60, $65 and they'll pay it, right? Based on that one time a week cleaning. And then you just multiply that times 4 to 65. If you got it $65 times 4 weeks, that's what your gross. That's what your total. Not to mention if you're buying products. If they get into products, the cleaning solutions and products through you want to tax that up. Okay, so you want to make a profit on that. So in other words, when I go and do a walkthrough, I make sure I understand if they need me to supply the product, or if they're going to supply the product in terms of the cleaning solutions and products and things of that sort. If they're going to supply it, then I don't worry about it. Actually, I prefer them to supply. That's less work on my end. But if they want to go through me or whatever the case is, then I'm going to make a profit on those products, because it's going to cost me money to buy them, right? So I have to charge it to them, right? I charge it to them. So whenever you buy the product, you're charging it to them. Hopefully that you guys understand that, or you at least want to make a profit on that. Okay, now in the very beginning, I didn't, because of the way my mind was set up in the very beginning, I didn't worry about it. I didn't worry about it. So you heard my story when I first started. I went to Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, wherever, right? And I got all these different products and cleaning solutions and all of this different stuff. 409, Fabuloso, Pine Sol, all of these different scrub bubbles and this and this and that, mirror cleaning, all that Windex. All. So I had all of these different things. I gave myself a budget. I say, well, I'm going to buy these products and I'm only going to buy $50 worth of product. Well, I didn't use the whole $50 worth of products because I had just a buggy full of different stuff, right? So I didn't use everything in that month time. So that $50 worth of product carried me over like 3 months, right? Before I started really running low on stuff, right? And in the beginning, I would take, because, money was a factor. So if I clean the A facility with this, when I was done with A facility, I would take it with me and I would go ahead and clean B facility. Take it with me, clean C facility, right? Because I was buying it in the beginning, okay? But like I said, you want to make sure you understand who's going to purchase the products, and you're going to charge it to them. If they go through you, you're going to charge it to them, because if you're not providing those products, they're going to provide it, and it's going to come out of their pocket anyway, right? So once again, if you're not providing those products and they say, don't worry about the cleaning, we use special cleaning, we take care of the cleaning products, all you have to do is come in and use them and clean, then you go ahead and let them buy it, and then you just use the product and clean. But if they're going through you and they say, well, I need you guys to supply the product, then you go ahead and you can supply it. You just want to make a profit on it. I would suggest that you make a profit on it. Okay. So you're going to mark it up a little bit more, and then you'll be able to make make a profit on those products that you bought. Okay. So for an example, if you're doing a once a week account for, let's say, $50 once a week, right? So that's once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. So that's what, $200 a month for that particular account. Okay. Plus you want to charge taxes, because you're being charged taxes. So a lot of people don't charge taxes. So on your invoice, when you go to invoice them, you want to have that little line where it's the state tax. You charge the state tax. Okay, whatever the percentage is for your state, you charge the state tax. And then you want to have an itemized line for cleaning products, cleaning solutions, things of that sort. And you want to have that fee in there too. That fee is never going to change. You're just going to leave that fee the same. So in the beginning, I charged the extra anywhere $30 to $50 for cleaning products, and they paid it. So that would jack my price up to, if I had a once a week account at $50 per cleaning, bring that itemized list down, then that'd be $250, right? Because like I say, I would charge anywhere between $30 to $50. I will mark it up, even though I know it costs me way considerably a lot less than that, and I will bill them for that every single month. That would be part of the billing. So if you buy a big jug of such and such, right, and let's say you use this and you get it from Home Depot, you got the big jug of it, you're not going to use this big jug in 30 days. You shouldn't use this whole jug in 30 days. So what you do is you get you a spray bottle, pour it in there, dilute it with water, because it's a concentrated product. 9 times out of 10, if you get the big jug of whatever, you pour it in there, dilute it with water, shake it up, and you use that spray and to be able to get you through the rest of the month. Now, if you know how to spray, you don't overuse the chemicals, then that product should last you for a very long time. And then come next month billing, you're going to bill them for the $250 again, and you still got this one jug that you're not even halfway through, right? You got this one jug that you're not even halfway through, or about halfway through, right? Because once again, you're only cleaning that, in this particular example, you're only cleaning that account once a week. So there's no way you should really be halfway through that, but you would keep billing it every single month. So it'd be like $250 plus the taxes and that stuff. So when you give them the grand total, you have that on your estimate when you submit that estimate. That's why it's very important when you do the walkthrough that you understand who's going to pay for the product. Okay. And then you go ahead and itemize everything, detail it on your estimate or your proposal, whatever. And then you include the products. You show that on the itemized. This is what we're going to charge, $30 for this, whatever the case, whatever little fee that you think is fit for you. I kept it basic, keep it simple. And Boom, here's the grand total with the taxes. And then you turn that in. Okay. Some people don't itemize it. Some people just equip it within the price and give them. You can do it that way. If you say, well, I don't want to seem like I'm charging them taxes, but I need to charge them taxes. Then when you do the whole numbers and the estimate, you put everything together, you just give them one set numbers, including, and you put the product and solutions. If it worked better for you and you feel like, I don't want to, you know, I just throw it in there, then you can just throw it in that price. And then that's just how much it is right there. So your taxes and your product will be included in that price. Okay, it's nothing different than when you go to the store and you get, a bag of M&Ms and you say two for $1, right? Well, they just threw that extra cost in that dollar, right? It's nothing. It's not free, but they make it seem like it's, you're getting a good deal, but you're really paying for both bags, both things of M&M. So you guys have any further questions here? Let me go back here. Is your brazen on footage? I answered that question. Grind with Tino. Okay. You guys have any questions here? I just want to make sure I cover it, guys, because like I said, in my business, everything is flourishing. Everything is very, very busy. The main thing I have to tell my people, because I do read the emails when they do come through or when I'm told about certain emails, and it's not more or less of getting the contracts, it's the motivation. That's why that's why it seemed like my channel was kind of going into a more motivational stand. The thing is that without motivation, your business just won't flourish, guys. You have to get those naysayers from around you. You have to get people that don't believe in you around you. I tell people all the time, and I truly believe in this, people would not believe in your dream until it become a reality. People would not believe in your dream a lot of times until it become a reality. Okay? And that's, let me see. So is Jake Poole a pro Fortnite Rice Gun player, bro? I don't have an idea what you're talking about. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. But like I say, people won't believe in your dream until it become a reality. So you have to be vigilant enough to know what your capabilities are and what you're not capable of. Okay, in the very, very beginning, guys, you have to be everything, right? Because that's the tough part, right? You don't have the finances to hire people right off rip, right? You don't have the know-it-all to do everything that, where you can outsource this and do different things like this. So you have to be everything, right? You have to be the cleaner. You have to be the administrator. You have to, solicit for the accounts. You have to do, whatever, right? You have to keep inventory. You have to do all of these different things. Okay, again, it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you guys it's a lot of money that can be made, but it's not going to be easy, folks. It's not going to be easy. And you have to keep doing this stuff every single day. The reason I prosper, the reason I prosper is because I work the business every single day. Let me see here. PAH, he says, what do you think about growing your cleaning business with a small business loan to buy equipment, marketing, and to get customers, etc.? I don't think you need a loan. Sweat equity alone would do the job for you. Now, if you feel like I need more money, I want to get new equipment and stuff like that, and you want to get a loan, that's per individual. Okay, like me, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go after a business loan because I got like insurance in myself that I know that I can do something. Like when I set my mind to it, I know that I can do it. I might bullshit in the very beginning, but when I hone in and know that I Fabio, I can really do this, then I go after it. Okay. But if you want to get a loan, I wouldn't say don't get a loan. The loan. One second, Kev. When you go and get a loan, okay, I wouldn't say you need a big $10, $15, $20,000 loan, right? Because you don't need that much money to start up, really, right? But if you need a little capital and you say, you know what, I got to get a new vax and this, that, and the third, because you don't need a carpet cleaner machine. You don't need any VCT floor care machines, right? You don't need that in the very beginning because here's what I tell people. A lot of the machines that you think you need, you don't need, you can rent for $50, $60 at your local janitor supply store, okay? Or at Lowe's or at Home Depot. They actually rent these machines out. You go ahead, you rent them, keep your receipt, and then you write that off as a business expense, okay? I see you, Kev. I see you. So you don't need uh, those equipment, So your initial equipment should just be, whatever your products that you need to clean with, and your vacs, your mops, your brooms. A lot of this stuff costs you little or nothing, right? You go to Home Depot, get a nice little broom, maybe $7, $8, for a broom. I don't know how much it costs these days, but it don't have to be anything fancy when you're just starting out. Okay. And then you keep your receipts and you'll be able to write this stuff off, right? You'll be able to write it off at the end of the year. You get that right back. So, and that's what I tell a lot of people. Okay. Because again, people forget about that, the fact that they can write things off. Okay. As a business expense. Okay. So you'll get that back. But again, you don't need a loan. If you get a loan, just make sure you get a minimum dollar amount. Don't try to get the maximum of whatever, because you won't need all of that, right? You won't need all of that. Like your business cards, your flyers, that material and stuff like that, man, you go on Vistaprint right now, they give you a free code on the site, right? They'll say, look at the top of the screen and enter the code, whatever it says up there, right? And you enter the code and you get whatever percentage off, 10% off, whatever we got a special here. And bam, you submit your order in, you pay with your card, your company card, or your check card, or whatever the case is, and then they send it to you in the mail, your business cards, your flyers, your posts, whatever you need, right? And that's how I started off, dude. That's how I started off. You don't need a loan. I'm not a big fan, because again, most of your traffic is going to come, I personally believe, off of sweat equity, okay? Like we do residential, I do Facebook ads, right? Because I find that I'm able to get more homes and residentials off of Facebook than I am commercial jobs. Because there's a lot of people on there that, want their homes clean. That might be on your Facebook friend list, or just might be in the area. So I got a certain dollar amount that I pay Facebook per week to rotate these ads. It's called the little sponsor ads that you see right there. Boom. And we get residential cleaning jobs. That's how I get most of my residential cleaning jobs, believe it or not, right? Through those sponsor ads, that's those paid ads that you see right there. So we already target those people. They click on an ad, it take them certain, have them fill out the little form and things like that. It comes into the email. We have it systematically set up, and boom, there you go. You go in, you give them a quote, or you do what you have to do and you pick up that contract. That's on the residential side. But if you guys are just doing just straight commercial, I mean, hell, you can do that for commercial. I don't know how successful it would be in your area, but you can do like Facebook advertising. I'm a big fan of Facebook advertising. Now, because I see how it worked. At first, it didn't work for me. 1 second, guys. So at first I was thinking like, this shit doesn't work, right? But repetition, okay? Because that's what I had to do. That, I had to keep spending the money and getting in front of people, and then I started building traction from it. So again, sweat equity, going door knocking, I'm still a huge fan of that. That's my biggest way to get any potential account, followed by the phones. The phones is a stretch now because everybody is calling everybody. Even when we do my lead generation, it's getting very, very difficult, because the same people we're calling, people trying to sell ink pens and erasers and the firefighter foundation and this foundation, and they want to give you an electric wheelchair, and they selling all of this different things, and they're calling the same people that we're calling. So by the time they get to our call and they hear our call and we give them our spiel, they're like, no, we're not interested. We got a cleaning company. No, they're hanging up. And I know what's going on because I get those same calls. Right? To solicit me. They want me to sign up for the police foundation and the firefighter foundation. And they want to sell me electric chairs and this and that, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, no, not interested. You hear the recording, you hang up. Scam likely, this, a nuisance call, this, that, and the third. Now they call you in regular people name now, right? So So it's getting tougher by the phones, but that doesn't mean it won't work. It just make your workload that much harder over the phone. So I'm a big advocate. Even with direct mail, you can do the direct mail. That's just going to cost you in postage. Okay, so you're going to make it up somewhere at some point. But I feel like you should do a multiple of things. Okay, I always tell people to run your business like a presidential campaign. When they need to select a new president, they just don't do email marketing. That's part of what they do, but they don't just do email marketing. They don't just do door knocking. They do television ads. They do Facebook advertising or social media advertising. They do email advertising. They go door knocking. They got flyers and ink pens and hats and shirts and radio ads and television ads. They do every single thing. Run your company like a presidential campaign, but you can do it at a real reasonable rate. You start with what you can do and build off of that. Okay, so once you start building traction through door to door, right? You start building traction through door to door. You start picking up accounts and contracts. Then you take that revenue, okay, that comes in. Once you start cleaning and building it up, you take that revenue and you invest it back into your business. Maybe another sector of marketing, another position here, another this, another that, right? You get more business cards or you get more flyers, okay? And just because you have it don't mean you have to give them all out at one time, guys. Like I still have some in the house. I got some stuff in the car now. You hear about my car pack that I tell you guys to carry around. That's your flyers and your estimate breakdown sheet, your estimate sheet, your non-compete, non-disclosure, your applications. People ask me, hey, Fabio, hey, you guys hiring? Yeah, I got an application. Can you fill it out right quick? Right? That's part of my little, what I call my car pack. I put it in a folder, put it in the back of the seat, you know, behind the driver. Bam. So whenever I need it, I can just pull that folder out and I got everything in there, business cards and flyers, this and that, right? Contracts or agreements. I like to call them agreements. The estimate breakdown sheet. I have the estimate sheet in case I had to write up a proposal. I can't make it to my computer. I want to get this in. I will hand write a proposal in a minute. Some people tell you that's unprofessional. I will hand write a proposal in a minute. Sit right in the parking lot and write it up and get it in, right? Because I'm about business. I'm about action. And it works. It works for me. Okay, so again, you make sure you look the part, right? You make sure you look professional. Some people think they have to have a logo shirt with their name on it. That's a plus. I would suggest that. But if you can't afford it right now, don't sweat it right now. Just get a nice little button-up shirt, or if you're a woman and you're watching this, get a nice little blouse. You know, women's slacks, men's slacks, some comfortable shoes. I choose to do Rockports, right? I'm sure you guys heard about Rockports. They're very comfortable walking shoes. And bam, I just go in there, look professional. My hair is braided. I maybe pull it back to a ponytail, right? So Vistaprint, well, it depends on what I'm ordering. It depends on what I'm ordering. Like, for an example, I ordered my car magnet, the Fluent one. I ordered my car magnet from Vistaprint, and it was about maybe a week and 2 days, and I had it. My business cards come in a matter of like 3 days. Generally speaking, my business cards. So it depends on what you're getting done. Your flyers and this and that. It depends on what you're getting done. But you know, the bigger the job, kind of like the longer it'll take. You know, if you're getting 100 business cards or whatever the case is, it don't take nothing for them to cut those up. And because remember, you put everything in there. You fill it out on the Vistaprint site. You pick the design card you want to use. They already got template cards and things like that. You pick the design. You just put everything where you want to put it. If you got a logo in your phone, all you got to do is upload it to the computer. You know, upload it to your desktop and be able to boom, put it right into there. Right, you can mount it wherever you want to put it at, in the left hand and the right hand corner, wherever you want to put it, and there you go. Generally in about 3 days, give and take. I got my business cards, right? Like I said, my door magnet maybe takes like a week and 2 or 3 days or something like that. So it depends on what you order, but it's generally speaking way less than 2 weeks. Anything that I've ever ordered from Vistaprint, I got in less than 2 weeks. It never took like 2 weeks to get. So I'm okay with that. Let me see if you guys have any more questions here. Okay, now Kevin said, what's your best advertising method for your VCT floor care? Well, since we outsource that, most times when I get floor care jobs, it's accounts that we're already working in. So that's not my section of business. But as you guys know, I have vendors that I got under contracts, or contractors that I have under contracts. So all my floor care work is outsourced. Okay, now I do have the machines. I invested in the machines to be able to do those jobs in the event that I ever had to do it. So I study what they do. I know how they do. Jesus. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why they don't call the other phone. But anyway, it gets me sidetracked. But anyway, that's we outsource the VCT floor care jobs, just like we do the carpet cleaning jobs. But I do have those machines in the warehouse downtown, in my section of my city. We have the machines to do the jobs in the event that we have to do the job, right? But again, I always keep three. I like to call it 3 people on deck. So for carpet cleaning, I got 3 guys or 3 different companies that handle that. So if one guy is booked, I can call another one. If another company is booked, I can call another one. Generally, one of the 3 will be able to do the job. So I call my best one and more reasonable one first. And then I call my second best or my third best if I, for whatever reason, can't get my first guy, right? And I do the same thing for pest control. We offer pest control services, which we outsource. We get paid for it. We give them maybe a 7/30 cut. So they take 70%, we'll take 30, all right? Since they're going to do most of the work and get rid of the rodents and the pests and all of that, right? Same thing with my painters. When we do apartment clean outs, sometimes they ask us, do you guys paint? We say, yes, we paint. So I try to cover all my bases. All I do is line up contractors, put them under a contract or on a contract, and then when I need them, I call them and say, I have this job. I don't have to contract them or rehab them do this contract. Now the contract, we make it out for the entire year. So as these services come about, if you pay the man good, the man will always come back and do great work for you. If you pay the man good, he will always come back and do great work for you. But if you're doing the jobs yourself, Kevin, let me see. Then you would do it just like you would do a commercial. You would take a look at the floor. If you know that section of cleaning and floor care, what needs to be done, or they tell you we just want to buff and wax, okay, and how much you would normally typically charge for that, you can handle that job yourself. See, I would have to kind of be in that realm. I would have to see what needs to be done, and then I can quote them. That's going to be additional money, already into what I'm already making. Because like I say, a lot of the floor care jobs, whether it's carpet cleaning, like I think the last video I put up was a short video, but it was of the company that we use, and they were doing this account right here where I'm at right now. They were doing this account, and they were doing just the carpet. They were doing what do you call it? It's like a steam job, right? It wasn't no extensive carpet cleaning job, so they did just doing a steam clean type of job with the floors, right? So it's just different things. If you do whatever, depending on what they need done, dictate how you're going to charge them, because there's different levels of cleaning, floor care, whether it's VCT floor or just carpet cleaning, right? So, like I say, I outsource all of that. They already know what they're commissioned at, or what not commissioned, but what they're going to get paid based on our contract. And there you have it, So I get the check, and then we go ahead and we pay that revenue out, if that makes sense. You don't have your company cut the check to a vendor. They cut the check to you, and you go ahead and you pay that out. Luckily for me, I'm at a position now where I have what we call cash on deck, and I don't have to necessarily wait till the check come in. I know the check is going to come in. I don't have to wait till the check to come in to pay out the revenue. I have it in the bank. I can already so if they're going to cut the check to me at a certain date, grind with Tino. I see you. I see. I'm gonna get right to you. Stay in, dude. So if they're gonna cut the check at a certain date, then I don't have to necessarily make my vendor wait to a certain date to pay him or her, right? Because I got what we call cash on deck. I got the cash in the bank, and we just go ahead and cut the check for that, right? So by the time this check come in, this person has already been paid. We don't owe anything. We just put the whole check in the bank. If that makes sense. Okay. Let me see here. How about getting a loan for a company vehicle or even having a commercial plate on your personal car? In the very beginning, that will be the last thing that I'm thinking about. Now, if you established already, then the business will pay for that. You don't need a company loan. But if you're saying a company loan to do, it's not even worth it. It's not worth it. Okay? Because I would rather be a guy than not have a commercial plate or a company vehicle and have money in the bank than to have a company vehicle with a commercial plate on my regular car and I'm struggling in the bank. Would that make sense? So I wouldn't suggest any of my subscribers to even think about doing that in the very, very beginning. I wouldn't even think about doing that in the very, very beginning. The most I would tell you, because I'm a simplistic guy, the most I would tell anybody to do, if you're going to do anything, you build up visibility. You build up visibility, you stay out, trying to get new contracts, whether it's by phone or whether it's door knocking or however you do it. But the most I would tell them to do about their vehicle is get a magnet, put it on their car, and be done with it in the very, very beginning. Because you can create this image, but if you don't have any money in the bank to hold that image up and you're still struggling, now you just got a fancy car, bought this truck with the mount and the van and everything, and it looks perfect, and you got everything on the van or on the truck, right? But you don't have any jobs. So you have the carpet cleaning machines and everything, and you have everything attached to the company vehicle with no jobs. That doesn't make any sense to me, right? So I would never tell anybody to start there. Not to start there. I wouldn't say never do that, but I wouldn't tell you to start there. I would tell you when you're in a position that your company can pay for that, then go for it. I'm just totally against loans because I know in this particular business, you don't need a loan to make an absolute fortune in the business. You don't. You don't need a loan to make an absolute fortune. Now, I'm not against loans, right? It's not for me, but I'm not against them. If you want to get a loan, get a loan. But you also have to factor in, how am I going to pay this back, right? Because you're going to have minimum payments. It's like getting a credit card. You get a credit card, you got minimum payments that you got to pay. So when you charge an item, unless you hurry up and pay it off, you're going to pay that minimum payment. It's the same thing when you get that loan. You're still going to have that minimum. Once they give you that money, it's all fine and dandy until it's time to pay that minimum payment. Okay? The minimum payment would never get you paid off quickly, right? Or never get you they're going to make money on that loan because you're just paying just that base minimum, right? So I'm kind of getting off into a whole nother dynamic. We're talking about loans and stuff, but I'm just not really for it. And I don't believe you need it in the very beginning. But if that's something you want to do, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not against that. Go ahead, do it. Hopefully you make the revenue back where you're able to at least start the payment of the loan. Bobby, you can. It's a good idea. Thumbtack. Let's talk about Thumbtack. I'm not a big fan of Thumbtack, but I've heard people who say they made money from Thumbtack. But I've also heard people that say some of the leads that you get off of Thumbtack, different things like that, it'd be total bullshit. It'd be total bullshit. Like you gotta, just a whole setup I'm just not a big fan of, right? I'm just not. Okay, because Thumbtack eat off of you multiple ways. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm more traditional. I would go to the yellow pages quick, go to the yellow book. I do what we call intuitive marketing, where I'm driving down the street, I see a building, never been in the building before, don't even know what's in the building, don't know what type of company, and I go in and I acquire, right? I go in and I acquire. I'm a big fan of that. You can use Thumbtack. I heard people that say they make money with Thumbtack, but Thumbtack be killing you. The fees of Thumbtack be killing you. But so I guess I have a split position in terms of using Thumbtack for lead generation, or dealing with, for your leads. Um, I wouldn't do it, but if you want to do it, give it a shot. Just make sure you understand the fees, you understand everything, and make sure you just understand what you're getting yourself into. Okay, I wouldn't tell you not to do it. I don't want. I don't like telling my subscribers not to do something. I will give you my position on it, and then you use your own gut feeling as if that will work for you. But me personally, I wouldn't use Thumbtack. Me personally, I wouldn't use Home Advisor or some of these other companies like that. Okay, because they almost have like a franchise type of mindset. And that's just the way I feel. And I'm not a big fan of franchise. If you're just joining me, guys, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. If you're joining me, if you're watching me, go ahead, get those likes up. Get those likes up. Get them 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 lights up. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. And I don't personally think that you need them to be successful. I've also had people ask me, what about purchasing accounts from other companies that sell an account? I'm not a big fan of that, but if you're going to do it, just make sure it's favorable for you. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. So if I'm going to purchase an account from another company or some other company, number one, I want to know why you're selling the account. Number two, I want to kind of get a feel for the company itself, because maybe you setting me up for some chicken shit deal, right? So I want to know about the company. I want to get an idea about the type of people that work for this company. The contact person, why you're selling it, what's going on, why you want out the deal. So all of these type of questions you kind of want to ask. Yeah, that one is very current. So you want to ask these questions, right? To the person, the party is selling it, whether it's a company, whether it's an individual, whoever it is. You want to know. You also might get emails, guys. I used to get emails all the time, not so much now, but you might get emails from other companies outside of the state that you're living in that have contracts in your state and might say, hey, we can give you this contract. It's going to be a $4,000 deal, but we're going to take such and such and such and such. But you can take the deal. It's guaranteed money. It's a $4,000 deal. But then they suck you up and you're thinking you're looking at $4,000, and then it's not even $4,000 at the end of the day. When you get the contract and the paperwork, you submit that in, you do all of that. You start a contract. I talked to many people over the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks that kind of got sucked up into a situation with a company that was, essentially leasing a contract. They didn't have workers here. So what they wanted to do is have you, for an example. Yeah, that one is very current, for example. I don't know what you're asking me. You say, for example, JB. But yeah, so I'm not for that either. But if you're going to buy a contract or you're going to do something, just make sure you understand the contract itself that they're trying to put you under, number one, and make sure you feel like it's fair for you. It has to be an advantage. Treat yourself like an entrepreneur, not an employee. Don't just take it because $5,000 or $4,000 sound like a lot of money. Because you want to know, is it straight $4,000, or is there any fees that come off top, or, how this thing, you want to make sure you know how this thing is going to work. Okay. If you have a contract and you don't understand it, even if you got to pay a lawyer and sit down and have somebody really to explain this paperwork to you, you want to know what you're getting into. That's even if you're going into franchises, which I'm totally against. I'm not for franchises at all, right? But if, again, you want to make sure you understand before you sign the dotted line, because you don't want to just sign your life away, okay? I'm all for independent business. I get questions like that in my email. Fabio, I seen I can't find contracts on my own. I think I'm just going to go and buy into a franchise. And I tell them, man, just work hard. Just work hard. Because the franchise might not necessarily be what you thought it would be, right? So, and to be honest, I don't try to shit on franchise and this, that, and I'm just not a big fan of it personally. There's people that's making 6 figures a month in franchise. The vast majority don't do that, but there are people that's making 6 figures a month in a franchise, right? So, I mean, it's your own thing. It's, how you feel. Me, I'm willing to build it from the ground up, get it out the mud, get it off the muscle, so to speak, right? So, and I'm a realist with it. My approach is like a total realist. I signed up for 2 companies that gave me contracts, but I don't really know. Why would you sign up for it, JB? Why would you sign up for it? You don't know how it works. Again, folks, you gotta think like a business person. You think Bill Gates and these guys are, the other entrepreneurs that we know and we recognize out here. You think, Jordan gonna sign up with a deal with Nike? He doesn't know how it works. He's not gonna know what he's getting paid, his percentages. He's not gonna know, his sponsorship. He's not gonna know what he's getting out of the deal. You have to know this, guys. You have to know this. So you make them wait on your term. Act like a business a business person. People will treat you like a business person. When you have an employee mindset, people are going to treat you as such, and they're going to have the upper advantage. So when you accept the deal, you tell the guy, hey, I need to talk it over with my lawyer. I'll get back with you. Give me about a week. And if they can't wait a week, they say, take care. It's got to be on my terms. I'm sorry if I seem more, if I seem like a douche when I say that, guys, or I seem like a prick when I say that. But again, you have to treat yourself with dignity. You have to treat yourself with respect. You have to treat yourself with dignity. If it's something you don't need to understand, you got to understand it. Hey, you better make sure you understand before you sign, guys. Let me see here. JB, I wouldn't. I signed up for 2 companies that's going to give me contracts. Ask questions. Ask questions. Don't sign anything. Don't sign no dotted line, nothing, right? Until you absolutely understand your percentages, what you're going to get from the deal, what they're asking for, what they need out of it, what you're getting, what their position is, what your position is. It's got to be favorable for you. It's got to be favorable for you. Carlos, he said, Fabio, what is the normal square foot per hour when it comes to cleaning? Let me read this again. Fabio, what is the normal square foot per hour when it comes to cleaning? What you mean, the normal square foot per hour when it comes to cleaning? You might have to reword that for me, bud. Come on, guys. I got, like 22 people on watching. Like, share, and subscribe. If you guys have questions, go ahead and get those questions out. Okay. Like, how many square feet can one person clean per hour? How many square feet can one person clean per hour? Well, it just depends on your ability to learn the facility, because I've cleaned like 1,500 square feet by myself. I've cleaned a 3,000 square feet by myself. I cleaned a 5,000 square feet by myself. The more square feet, obviously, the bigger the building get, the more difficult it can become, because it's a bigger building, right? But if you walk in a facility and you do a walkthrough, you generally got an idea about how long it's going to take you to clean this building. See, and that's what shows up on my estimate breakdown sheet. Everything is like documented there, right? You know what I'm saying? So I generally know already, like, if I got a 2,000 square feet building, I know I can clean it 2,000. It's nothing, right, for me to clean it. But if I got a facility like this, where we have multiple buildings and things like this, I got 3 people in this entire plant that works for me, right? 3 people that work for me. Now I can have more and it'll cut the job in half, but I'm trying to save revenue. I have 3 people. I pay them more, right? And they do an excellent job. I have the same people here for a very long time. So it just kind of depend on, there's different dynamics to it, but it just depend on you. Like you can walk in a building and know if you can clean that building by yourself or if you're going to need extra help to clean it. So I don't think there's a set attrition for that. I don't think there's a set, uh, like rate for that you can just based on, because every building is different, right? Every building want different things done. So it just depends on that type of deal, to be honest with you, dude. At least that's my personal opinion, Carlos. Hopefully I answered your question. If you guys have any more questions, get them over to me. Get them over to me. Like I say, I'm doing extremely well in my business. So that was my delay from being on live for so long, because I was finding myself not being as productive. At least I felt like I wasn't being as productive. So I had to kind of back up from YouTube a little bit because I don't look at myself as a YouTuber, right? I look at myself as a guy that provides information on YouTube, but I'm a business guy, right? So that's kind of what I do, right? So in order for me to get to where I want to get to, I had to be a tiger, right? I have to be a lion. I have to be ferocious. I have to do the same thing that I'm telling you guys to do, right? What the mind can't conceive and believe, the mind can achieve only if you take action. So me knowing that, I have to take action, right? So I want to get the numbers up. I want to, be a big player in the industry. I know I'm doing something right when I'm having franchises call me, right? So, why would a franchise call me? They have a set system, right? Why would franchises call me? I've taken meetings with the franchisers, right? No problem, Tino. I've taken meetings with franchisers just because they want to meet with me. But I'm very intelligent. I'm very smart enough to know, what to talk to them about and what not to talk to them about. But I'll hear them out. I'll talk to them. I've talked to them in my local area, right? So, okay, I like the mindset, but I still have fear. What do you fear? Let me ask you this. JB. JB, and like I say, I love talking about this stuff because, let me see, do you fear failure more or do you fear success? Do you fear failure more or do you fear success? Let me ask you that. JB, listen. I don't know necessarily, I guess, how to put this, but hear me out. Check this out. You fear failure. Why do you fear failure? Why do you fear failure? Why do you fear failure? Let me ask you that. Do you fear failure because, let me see, how much should I charge a subcontractor? Well, it depends on the job. It depends on what the subcontractor is doing for you. Okay. And when you say subcontractor, you mean just a subcontractor that like a wife and husband team that's going to clean your facilities for you, where you're going to 1099 them and not W2 them? Or are you talking about that type of subcontractor? Are you talking about the carpet cleaning subcontractor, a VCT floor care subcontractor? It depends on the base of the job. It depends on, what you need the subcontractor for. Like my subcontractors, I give them anywhere from 60 to 70% of the revenue. Okay, whether we're doing a painting job, whether I'm doing pest control, whether I'm doing carpet cleaning, whether I'm doing VCT floor care, I outsource all of those services, right? And I give them anywhere between 60 and 70% of the revenue, and I take either the 30 or the 40, right? Because I brought them the deal, but I do know if I pay a guy good, whenever I call him, he's going to be there. He's going to pick up the phone. He's going to take my job, right? So as long as I get the result that I'm looking for, my customer is happy. I still make the money on the back end because we're cleaning, every single day, right? Or we clean every other day or once a week. So this still is a residual account that I'm going to make money from. And this is just a one-time carpet cleaning. So I will pay the guy more for a one-time carpet cleaning because they won't need carpet cleaning probably no more for the rest of the year, right? It might be this time next year that they want to do a carpet cleaning again, right? So the greedy become the needy. So I'm not trying to attack them, or tax them, so to speak, just for this one-time job when I know that I'm going to get recurring income from this very account. So I'll pay them 60% or a 70% of the revenue. And I'll take a 30 or a 40 because I'm going to continue to make that money week after week, month after month, year after year, right? But let's get back to the fear. Let's get back to the fear of failure. Why do you fear failure? See, like rich people, they don't fear failure. They fear what happened if they don't do something. That's where they fear what happened if I don't do it. They don't fear just failure itself. I'm afraid to even get started. They fear what if it's gonna happen and I don't do it. So they do it. You see what I'm saying? So listen to this, JB. You got a job. You get up, right? You got to go to work tomorrow. I took a job as a subcontractor. The lady wanted me to buff floors, also generally clean. One amount. What amount? I'm assuming he said he want to ask me what amount. Shit, that's separate pay. That's up to you. That's up to you. There's no set rate. There's no set rate. It's what you think that job is worth. So you're doing a job already for her. You're doing the basic cleaning, the general cleaning, and then she wants you to do a floor care job, right? Okay, so you're still going to make money on that basic cleaning, but it depends on how much you feel that job is worth for you to do. There's no set rate. It's no set rate. It's like, let's take fast food. Why would one pick the Big Mac over the Whopper, right? Why, if it come down to money, then why do you choose one over the other? It's just a matter of choice. So it's the same thing with this right here. If you're gonna place a price on that, it's just whatever you feel that service is worth. Okay. But it's always going rates. Another way that you can access, you can call other companies and check around. You just don't have to, you can't sound like a company. You can't sound like a company because they can pick that up. So you can find other companies that offer that service and call them around and ask them, like, how much would you guys charge me? Now, a lot of times they won't give you the price over the phone, but sometimes they will. You'll find some companies that will. Don't say, well, what's the going rate or anything. Be like, yes, I got a situation. I got a, floor, I just want it buffed and waxed or whatever the case is. And how much would you guys charge me? It's about however much the square footage of the floor, the actual floor is. And you give them that and you ask them about how much would you charge me. That'll give you an idea where to start, but you can't sound like a company. If they say, well, we need to come out, you say, no, I just need a price right now. My husband, is on me about it, or my wife is on me about it. Can you give me a price right now, an about price, what you would charge me? That'll kind of give you an idea. Companies done that to me. I've done that to companies before in the past when I needed to do it. And some companies will give you the price. Most will tell you, I got to take a look at it. I got to see it. But okay, to get back to my analogy, what if JB, if you that's let me see, Titty. If you want to grow your business fast, do you think it's a good idea to sub out every contract and continue to bill? Yeah, you can do it that way. You can sub it out and continue to bill. Yeah, you can sub out the work and just continue to have subcontractors like a mom and daughter team or a husband and wife team, that type of thing. And the cool thing about that, TD, is that what happens is you can send those same people to different accounts. You send those, like if you got like 4 accounts, you can send that same husband and wife team to different accounts and let them do those accounts. Jesus Christ, see, if it's not one thing, it's another. And you can have them do multiple accounts for you, right? And you just pay that particular team to, as subcontractors, right? You don't even have to have them on a W-2. You pay them as subcontractors and have them do that particular account for you. Okay, or those particular accounts for you, right? Let me see here. That was my dream. So JB, if you, okay, so use PAH, I see it. 1 second, dude. So let me get this out for this failure, because it all started with the mindset, guys. You have to do this every single day. Like if you're gonna get up, only focusing on getting new contracts and check up on. Yeah. You can do it that way, and you just check up yourself or whoever your field supervisor is. You have that guy or that gal to go out and check for you and make sure. But it's nothing like you knowing yourself. So if you're kind of small, I don't know the base of your business, but if you're kind of small, it's cool that you go out and do it. Okay, because a lot of these teams that's put together, they won't try you. And what I mean try you, because sometimes when people think they can get away with something, they'll try to get away with it, right? But if they know TD is going to be on my ass, right, he's going to really show up, and he's going to, they won't be so quick to try little things, right? Because anything that they do ultimately fall back on you. I mean, you know that. So you know that you have to be on your subcontractors as you would be your employees, right? But let me get back to this. So we're going to talk about fear, guys. So he said he feared failure. Listen to this. If you work a job, because this shit, right, what I'm about to say should really scare you. If you work a job, right, you get up, you get ready, you take a shower, you get in your car, you drive to the job, and tomorrow morning when you get to the job, they hand you the pink slip, the yellow slip, the white slip, the orange slip, whatever, and they tell you we no longer need your service. The company is being sold. The company is liquidated. The company is going out of business. And they knew this, let's say, a month or two out, right? They knew this a month or two ago, and they just brought it on you tomorrow morning. Do you have the revenue to get you through the rest of the year? Do you have the revenue to keep you afloat for the next 6 months to a year, right? So what would you do? Now that would scare me more than me actually going out door knocking, right? Or picking up the phones, making the calls, getting new contracts. Okay? So it all starts with the mindset. It all starts, usually people that's afraid are kind of not sure of themselves or their abilities, generally speaking. Usually people that are afraid to do something, they're not sure of their abilities to complete the task, to do something, right? To get the job done. Me, I'm not saying like I'm this God and I know everything, because I don't. And I'm not saying that I don't have any fears and this and this and that, but I fear more of not being successful. I fear more of not getting to the goal than I do. Let me see here. How many hours per week did you work before you felt you had to hire? How many hours per week did I work before I felt I need to hire? That's what he asked me. So I didn't even base it by that. This is how I did it. In the very beginning, you heard me say this before. You're going to hear me say it again. When I got a new contract, in the very beginning, when I got a new contract, I worked 30 to 60 days in. I worked 30 to 60 days in. So I had that 30-day worth of revenue, that 60-day worth of revenue. I will work that account 30 to 60 days, just depending on how big it was, whatever the case is. And as I said earlier, I was already advertising for employees. So just because I was working those accounts, through the course of working those accounts, I would still be doing interviews and hiring, now accepting applications, things of that sort. Because my ultimate goal was to put a body in that particular account, right? So that's kind of how I gauged it. I worked it 30 to 60 days in, and then I put a body there. That's account A. Meanwhile, this is how my day, and this is kind of how my day still is structured, guys. In the daytime, I look for new contracts. Okay? So from the time I get up, whether I'm on the phones or whatever, I'm going to a meeting, whatever the case is, from the time I get up, I'm looking for new contracts. Follow me, guys. Take notes. Now, listen to this. From the time I get up, I'm looking for new contracts. In the evening time, because generally speaking, commercial cleaning is evening cleaning. It's in the evening. In the evening time, I take a look at my existing contracts. Okay, so that's where I go and check on the employees. That's where I go and make sure we got enough product and bags and liners and the vacuum cleaners working, everything working. That's where I go and check on my employees. Okay, I just pop up a random contracts that I have, right? Just pop up. You never know when I'm gonna come in, right? So that's what I do. Now, this contract for the longest that I'm at now, this contract, we had a high turnover rate here. For the very longest, we was this close to losing this contract. This close. It was real close. So what I did, I said, this is a great deal of income here. You know, this is a great deal. I won't tell you exactly how I make, but off of this count alone, I generate $10,000 to $15,000 this account alone. This one account. And there's 4 buildings. I gave you guys a tour of this before, so you kind of got an idea, you know, what it looks like. But this one account, I generate $10,000 to $15,000 alone. Okay? To get that taken away from you, that hurts a bit. That's a pinch right there, right? That's more than a pinch for me. That'll hurt me, right? So I decided to make it my business to be here every single day, right? So I'm here every single day, unless I'm going out of town or I'm, you know, I got some other meetings or I'm checking on like accounts in Ohio or something like that. I'm out of town. That's the only time I'm really not here. But again, I don't leave no leeway for a disaster, right? I show up and I show out. Okay. So that's what I would suggest you do. Work 30 to 60 days in, put a body in. You get a new contract, contract B, 30 to 60 days in, put a body in. Contract C, 30 to 60 days in, put a body in. You're always going to be hiring. You should always be accepting applications. While you working these contracts, again, you working these contracts in the evening, so you got the day to do your interviews. You got the data to listen new contracts, right? So this is what I do in the daytime. Just to kind of give you an idea how I do it. I hit the fields and I hit it hard. That's why I haven't been on here so long, guys. Right? I hit it hard. In the daytime, I'm looking for new contracts. Okay? I'm looking for new contracts. My sleep, I'm part of the no sleep gang, right? Because I'm like a machine. I'm always working. Now, I don't suggest you do that because you risk your health, and everybody just don't have that stamina that I have. Everybody don't have the same mindset. So you do want to get some rest, okay? You want to get some rest. But with me, for some reason, I feel like I'm going to miss something. I feel like I'm going to miss something. So I get my most rest, guys, on the weekends. I'm dead as hell. People, hey, Fabio, you want to come to the picnic? You want to come to the party, man? They got a concert coming out. Yeah, man, I'll be there. And then Saturday, get here, and I sleep the whole freaking Saturday. No bullshit. Sunday, get here, I sleep the whole freaking Sunday. Sunday evening, I plan my schedule out for the entire week. So I know what I got to do for the entire week. Meetings and this. I talk to Jasmine, my assistant. Jasmine, what we got lined up. I'm kind of giving you guys structure. You guys, people ask me all the time, Fabio, what's your system? That's my system. I live that stuff, everything. I work my business like a presidential campaign. I try not to leave no room for error. TD, good question. I find door-to-door to work, and I love direct mail. I love direct mail. Now, I don't like the cost that it takes to send them out, to send them out. But direct mail does work, especially if your flyer or your sales letter, whatever pitch you got, if you have, an incredible offer. You want to have an irresistible offer on that flyer, right? Or in that letter, because you need to get them to pick up the phones. So when I send out a letter or when I send out a flyer, the ultimate goal is for them to pick up the phones and call me back and say, hey, we received your letter. Okay. Now, a lot of times they just don't, but and they have intentions, but they don't. So at that time, what you can do is follow up with a phone call or follow up with a personal visit. You let them know, hey, we sent you out a flyer. I just wanted to stop in to see if you had any questions about the flyer. Just happened to be in your area. I just wanted to stop by to see if you had any questions about it. But we sent the flyer out about a week ago or week and a half in ago, and I just wanted to follow up with you. Oh yeah, you know what? I've been meaning to call you guys. I've been just so busy around here, yada yada yada, whatever they say, right? So it is okay to do that. You send out the flyer, then you can follow it up with the phone call. I would say wait a week. Don't do it too quick, but don't wait too long because then they'll forget. Maybe a little less than a week actually. I would say up to a week. Okay, so if you send it out and you're in your local area, and let's say give and take where you sent it in the mail is only going to take 2 days, I would say, if you send it out Monday, they may get it Wednesday. You can follow up. I would say Monday, right? Monday, just hypothetical here, but I would say follow up Monday. Say, hey guys, I sent you last Monday. That's a whole week from Monday to Monday, right? So hey guys, I sent you a flyer last Monday. I just wanted to just stop in, or I just wanted to follow up with the phone call to see if you had any questions. So I think that's an incredible thing, T. That's an incredible thing that you can do to kind of warm them up a little bit. Okay, but what's going to sell them is the actual verbiage or the offer. 25 cent, 25 cent, 25 off, 25% off for your first month cleaning, or your third month cleaning, or uh, sign up today, get a free carpet cleaning, right? And then you explain it. Like I love doing a free carpet cleaning, TD. Like when I go and put them on the contract, I say, well, right now we're running a special that we offering a free carpet cleaning if you stay with us for a year. So if you have a whole service for a year, by the end of the year, you're up for a free carpet cleaning. Sometimes that's why they'll stay with you, because they know they need carpet and they don't want to pay that big money, because that'll be an additional cost to your general cleaning. So they'll be up for the free carpet cleaning. You've been and made that money up through the course of the year, right? So by the time it's time to do that carpet cleaning, you're already really been paid for it already, because you've made that revenue up just doing the general cleaning. So you don't mind handling that job. Now, what you don't want to do, TD, is say have this offer and then it come to for you to put this cleaning, the carpet cleaning together and do it. And if for whatever reason you can't afford to do it, you don't have the means to do it, right? So I'm just kind of giving an example, but you want to have an irresistible offer. You want to have an offer on there that get them to strike and get them to pick up the phone and call, or at least get them to sign up if you pay them a visit door to door, right? Or if call them over the phone, they say, yeah, I did get your flyer, TD. What I want to do is just go ahead and set something up for you guys to come in and do a walkthrough and give us an estimate, because a lot of times these companies know how I go. They know what they need to do. They know you need to come in. They know you need to do a walkthrough and collect the data, collect the information that you need, and then you're gonna submit your estimate, put in a proposal or bid, right? So let me see here. What do you think about subcontractors employee appreciation month? I do that all the time. I do that customer appreciation. I do that all the time. I'll send them not all the time, but I'll pick the accounts that I'm going to do that too. Okay, and those are more of my bigger accounts that we've been there for a while. We haven't had no problems with them. They don't complain that much. I'll send Tim Hortons over to them, Dunkin' Donuts, order them the coffee, all the little canister thing, all you can drink coffee and the donuts, and I'll send them over. It's Customer Appreciation Day. Conversely, I do the same thing with my employees, Employee Appreciation Day, because I believe if you treat your employees right, your employees will stay with you for a very long time. And if you know women like I know women, it's very hard to get a lot of women to work on one accord. It's very hard to get, and that's all I have to work. Like I said earlier, all my cleaning crew consists of women. They do a fantastic job for me. All my not supervisors, but my field supervisors, they're men. So the ones that like me, they go and check on their accounts and make sure they got the uniform shirt, the Hollywood janitorial shirt. Make sure they uniform, because there's certain things they can't wear. No extra, it can be extra, right? So as long as everything is great, I don't have a problem. So I don't mind One second, I see you, Nathan. I don't mind doing a customer appreciation day. I don't mind doing an employee appreciation day. Like when it's Beyonce and Nicki Minaj, they coming to the city. I got a relationship with the radio station here, local WJOB and Hot 107.5 here locally in Detroit, that I get tickets. So I would give those free tickets that they would give to me, and I give it to certain employees. Okay, so you don't do all employees. You do certain employees, the ones that don't call off, the ones that's always there to do a great job. And when the employees that find out that this employee got it, why did she get it? Why? Because she does a great job. She's always on time. She does what we ask of her. She does overtime. She, like that. So again, they appreciate that. I also offer profit sharing with my company. That's at the end of the year, when the revenues is up, you can just give them a bonus check. It's profit sharing of what you then generated through the course of the year. Okay. Now make sure your revenues is up. Don't do profit sharing and your revenues is low. Okay. Just be okay with giving them a pizza and a Coke for, employee appreciation day or something like that. Right. A couple movie passes or something like that. Right. Just do that. Don't cut some checks that you can't really afford to cut. So, but when the revenues is up, I would suggest you do profit sharing, because who's going to turn down a check? A lot of people work with the idea like, oh man, I hope they're doing profit sharing this year. Them profit sharing checks be lit. I love them profit sharing checks, right? Let me see, Nathan, how would you charge for a client that has 6 accounts, hourly or square foot? How would you charge for clients that have 6 accounts, hourly or square footage? Well, it depends. It depends, Nathan. He owns 6 accounts and he wants us to bid all 6. Okay. It depends. It depends. You can bid them individually and combine the numbers and then put the estimate in as one big job, or you can bid them 6 different bids because it's 6 different buildings. It's the same account. Well, books, hold on, Tino. I got you, bud. Stay with me. You can bid them individually, right? You go in, do a walkthrough on each building and bid them individually and make it 6 different bids. Or you can bid them all together. Like you can still write it up 6 different bids, but then you combine the numbers. And then that's what the big check would be. Okay. Because like this account is 4 buildings here, right? So, but it's the same company. There's 4 buildings. So I had to get creative how I put the numbers in, but we charge this by the hour because it makes more sense for us to charge by the hour, not necessarily just a flat rate of square footage. We will lose just charging flat rate, or we would probably lose charging square footage. Just, our flat rate, I should say, not square footage, but flat rate, we will lose. So, but if we charge by the hour, we can make more revenue. We can make it up. So we do this account Monday through Friday here. I'm here Monday through Friday, right? And it's an evening clean job. They come in the evening clean or nighttime technically and clean. And a lot of times my people don't get out of here until like 4:30 in the morning in the AM. They off, right? And it's about a 6-hour cleaning every single night. We here. Because it's a plant, it's, women's restroom, men's restroom, the women's locker room. They have the men's locker room, the cafeteria area, the vending machine kitchen area, just the regular administration area, vacuums and things like that. And I showed you guys this before, so we're responsible for cleaning the outside. That was part of the estimate that we put in. Keep the grounds, get the little litter off the grass and different things like that. Pick up on the grounds. So that take time to do, right? So again, I did that by the hour because it made more sense for me to do it by the hour. But it's a very, very massive place. It's very big, okay? And this company is worth billions, So I make $10,000 to $15,000 at this one account here. This particular contract where I'm at now, $10,000 to $15,000. I won't say the exact number, but I'm in between that, okay? Let me see here. What books from the past and now would you recommend? 10X by Grant Cardone. Church. Okay. Okay. Church. You must be from the South. Church. ATL. You must be from ATL. But Grant Cardone, 10X, the 10X rule. I would suggest Grant Cardone, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's another because I read so many books. I've gotten books right here actually. I'll show you guys. I like marketing. I got this book, The Kardashian Principle. Look, guys, I stay at Barnes and Nobles here. Barnes and Nobles. You know, so I stay at the bookstore. You know, I actually read the books. I haven't read a lot of them yet, but I bought this book here. But just to go to show you, Grant Cardone. I'm gonna just show you guys what I done bought recently. Okay. I don't know if you guys seen the title of this book or if I moved it too fast. Here. I don't know if you guys seen this one. The Kim Kardashian Principle. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm showing you all the This is another book that I bought here, guys. Make It Rain. I always want to know what's going on with the newest laws with LLC and C Corps and different things like that for the guys that's interested. You want to get an LLC or what type of business you want to go. So, just to show you guys, don't bullshit yourself. Again, Gary V. So those just what I have here. That's just what I have here. But a good book that like I say, you want to get like, I would say Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I would say Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I would say the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. What's another good book? Would I suggest you pick up? Jesus Christ. Because my library is extensive, guys. I got a huge library of books. Man, what else? Dan Kennedy. He has a book, Direct Marketing. Book by Dan Kennedy. I think that's a good book. It's just so many. Actually, what I'll do is I'll have my assistant send you an email. Email me, send me an email, and I'll have her email you the top books because it's just so many books right now. But what I don't want you to do, dude, even though you see all of these books that I have right here, I don't want you to get the books and just solely like, I'm not going to start my business. I'm not going to market until I read this book cover to cover. Let me tell you what type of book person that I am. Let's take this book by Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Let's take this book. What I'm going to do with this book is I'm not going to sit down and read this whole book in 6 hours or whatever the case is. I get the information that I need and I take action on the information that I read. So I'll take a few notes, whether it's with my phone. I got two devices, two phones, and I kind of text myself certain little notes or jot them down or whatever, right? And then I'll go and I'll say, you know what, that's a good idea. Let me make a note of that. And I'll use that towards my business, whether it's Hollywood Janitorial, whether it's the $5 ride, whether it's Direct Auto Network or whatever I'm doing, right? I'll use that towards my business. Okay, because obviously that idea, these people know something that I don't know. And in order for my mind to continue to learn and continue to grow, I have to invest in new knowledge. I have to get in new knowledge. So I don't want anybody to go and get a book that I suggest or maybe that I haven't suggest and say, well, Fabio said get this book, so I'm going to read this book from cover to cover. Okay, get the book, read a little, take some action, come back to it, read some more, take some more action, read some more, take some more action, like that. Because just reading it, you're not going to remember everything that you read anyway, right? It's only so much in any given book that's going to stick out to you, right? It's just like a movie. You're not going to remember every part of a movie, but there are certain parts of a movie that you're going to remember. That's just going to stick out to you. You're not going to remember everything, right? So again, books are good. I'm a big proponent of motivational audios. That's what motivate me a lot of times. You know, I'm human just like everybody else. I get in that crunch where, you know, I'm like kind of tired, but I force myself to do certain things. You know, no matter how tired I am, I feel like I got to hit the gym. No matter how tired I am, I feel like I got to do some business. I can't let the day go and I didn't do any marketing of any sort, right? So, and that's just how I operate. That's why I tell you, always be marketing, always be marketing, always be out there. Put yourself, just because they haven't been done in our industry, don't mean it can't be done. You know, I'm a big fan of doing a press release, getting press coverage, getting that visibility from the press, right? You know, I took something from a total different industry and I made it work in my industry. I've been on multiple newscasters in my area, right? I haven't been on recently. I'm going to be pitching something real soon, but I've been on the radio in my area. I advertise and I've actually been interviewed, not just because I had a connection with the radio, but I use that to my advantage. So when I walk in the building or whatever, a lot of times people kind of remember me or remember my story or whatever the case is. It's not as difficult. How you think Donald Trump and a lot of these people in the media kind of get their way? That's because they build a brand, and through that brand recognition, they're able to get certain things out of certain people or out of certain companies. They're able to make sponsorship deals and endorsement deals that other people won't be able to make. They don't have that brand recognition, you know. So like Venus and Serena, why those are the only names we really know in tennis, right? You know, if I say name me 10 tennis people, right? That, I mean, unless you're a tennis person and you get in tennis, you probably could, but the average person probably wouldn't know 10 people. But if I say, hey, give me a couple of tennis people that you guys know that's big time, you'll probably say Venus and Serena, right? You know, well, why do we know them? Because they position themselves. They position themselves to become extraordinary, right? In their field and what they do, right? So the same thing for your Jay-Z's and in the music or your movie stars. They position themselves, right? So you gotta just put yourself out there. You gotta put yourself out there. You can't be scared to do that. If you're scared of your own self, you put your own self in your own way. And you're not going to grow. You're not going to prosper, So just because it haven't been done or you don't see it done in your area, don't mean it can't be done. If I ask you guys, how many lawyers do you see on TV in your area? Or can you name me 3 to 5 lawyers that you see on your local television advertising? You probably can give me 3 to 5 lawyers that you see, right? Because we see them all the time. But if I say, name me 3 to 5 commercial cleaning companies that you see on your area or in your area, you probably can't give me one. Why is that? Because traditionally speaking, I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied. Traditionally speaking, our company or in our industry, they don't do television advertising. but that don't mean that it can't be done. You know, how do you know these lawyers? Because you see them in the news, you see them they always advertise, they're on the radio, or whatever the case is. Well, you can be the exact same thing. You can use what lawyers do in their industry and make it work for our industry. And you can be the head honcho in your small area, your small town, your big city. If you're in Texas or Houston, New Orleans, you're in Tampa, you're in Miami, Tallahassee, where you're at, right? No matter, Detroit, Chicago, wherever you're at, you can take what they do in their industry and make it work for our industry. And you can be the guy that's doing it or the gal that's doing it in your area. And what's going to happen is they probably have a specific audience. They do. But everybody can use, law service, right? So they have a specific audience, right? Everybody is the audience. If you have a car crash and you need a lawyer, at least in your mind, you know who you're probably going to call based on what you see on TV. You're not going to say, well, let me go get the yellow pages and I need to figure out who you're going to say, I'm going to call such and such because I always see him on TV, right? They say, no upfront money, yada, 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 whatever their deals and their specials is, right? You're going to call them and, hey, try to sell them your case and see if they pick your case up, right? The same thing in the cleaning business. Companies, every dentist, I go in dentist offices all the time, chiropractors offices, they got flat screens now. It used to be where you just had to read the magazines and stuff. They got flat screens and all of this. You go in these different buildings and facilities. The lady at the receptionist desk, banks and stuff. You go in the banks got flat screen TVs. At least a lot of the ones that I go into, they got your NASDAQ charts right there on the screen, and right next to it, they got a flat screen TV, right? So a lot of times they're at work watching you. They see the same commercials and the same stuff that you see when you're at home. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is just because it has not been done in our industry don't mean it can't be done in our industry. You just have to be the one that put yourself out there. You can be the, I hope I don't offend anybody, but you can be the Donald Trump of your business, right? You can say what you want about him, but the guy know how to get media attention. To me, this presidential thing was more about his personal ego and his personal brand than it was about him really caring about saving the country and developing this and having a great country, right? He probably want a great country, but at the end of the day, when his term is up, he's going to say, I was the president of the United States. When he write his next book, he's going to say, I have Trump Tower, Trump this, Trump water, Trump soup, Trump cologne, Trump. And also Trump was probably by far the most controversial president that we had in a very long time, right? So that just add to his resume, add to his ego, add to his brand. When you look at Donald Trump, you really don't look at him as a political figure. You might look at him as a douche, depending on who you are, or a prick or whatever, if you don't necessarily agree with him. Hope I'm not offending anybody, because certain things about Donald Trump I like. I'm just honest. Certain things I do like. But at the end of the day, I think it's just adding to what he feel he stand for. He can say, I was the president of the United States of America, right? So that's what I'm saying. So again, you have to, how long should a in-depth proposal be? It just depends. It depends on what need to be done. I'm not a stickler for having, 100 pages worth of documents and different things like that. I like to keep it simple. So the more I can simplify a proposal, the better it is for me. Right? The more I can simplify a proposal, the better it is for me. Right? So that's just how I feel about it. But it just depends, because different accounts is different. It's different things that you have to do. Like this account, opposed to maybe a 2,000 or 2,500 square foot account, it's going to be different things. It's bigger. It's going to be different things that we got to do, right? So that being said, the proposal is going to look a little different when you write it up, right? So that's that. But like I said, guys, you just want to be doing this every single day. If you guys have any questions too, let me make sure I get this out of here. If you have any questions, book FabioHart@gmail.com is my email. BOOK, F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART @gmail.com. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. So like I said, you guys have to stay in the game. You have to stay visible. Every single day, you should be doing something. Every single day, you should be doing something. Because you're going to get up tomorrow and you're going to go work for the man. But will you get up tomorrow and go work for yourself? If you get up tomorrow and you go work for the man, and then you go in and you tell the man tell you, hey, I need to give you this slip, and we no longer need your service, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to go into an emotional wreck? Are you going to go into a panic attack? That's why I tell people to work the business every single day, even if you got a job. People say, hey, you want to go out to the club this weekend? No, I can't club this weekend. I'm busy all weekend. We got to put the phones down. We got to get off of Facebook unless you're going to allow Facebook to make you money. I don't care as much about social media platforms as other people do, unless I can find a way to make it an advantage for me. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not social. It's just doesn't bother me as much. Facebook could crash right now. I wouldn't so much care because I got other ways that I'm going to build revenue besides, because I really use Facebook sponsor ads to do my residential side of things, right? That's really all I use it for, because that's where I get the most traction when I'm picking up new residential contracts, Facebook, right? So, but if something happened, I'm not going to say, well, I guess I can't get no more money. I guess I can't get no new residential accounts. No, it's not going to stop with Facebook, right? So again, guys, if you got your phones in your hand, at least make money. At least allow it to, make you some money. Okay. Always be advertising, guys. Always be looking for employees. Door to door, you can do both, residential and commercial. Door to door, you can do both, residential and commercial. If you're going to do a commercial, get door hangers. What a fantastic message. You need an irresistible offer on there. So when they get home, like for an example, if you miss them, you go door to door and you miss them, then you want to be able to leave a door hanger on their door to show that you've been there. But the information on that door hanger need to sell them to the point where they need to call you like ASAP. Okay? So you have to craft a message on that door hanger. It is not just having a fancy door hanger with bright colors and no, it's not about that, right? It's the verbiage that you have on there. It's the content that you have on there, right? So you want to have an irresistible offer, so when they do get home and they see that you stop by, right, they take it off the door and they read it, they say, wow, okay, I think I need to call these guys. Or you follow up with them. You follow up with them. Everybody that you then stop by, you check their address down on your sheet. You should know every address that you went to if you're going door to door in a residential side. That way you can mail them out again. Same thing with the commercial. You want to make notes that with commercial, you're probably going to get somebody because you're going to go in the daytime, right? You go in the daytime, so that's during office hours, so you'll be able to talk to somebody. You might not meet the decision maker because he or she may not be available or whatever the case is, but you at least get to talk to somebody. And at that point, you would pick up a business card and you would write the contact person on the back of the card, write the gatekeeper on the front of the card. That's at least the way I like to do it. So when I walk into a facility, immediately, if I can find a business card or whatever, I know they're going to ask me for one, or I'm going to offer mine. I say, here's my business card. Would you happen to have a business card? They say yes. And I say, okay, great. I say, I'm sorry, what's your name? Oh, my name is Melissa. Okay, write it down. Thanks, Melissa. And the contact person, who am I supposed to talk to about the contract? Oh, that'll be Mark Gilbert. Okay, Mark Gilbert. I'll write his name on the back, right? So when I go to follow up with the phone call, I don't have to think of who I need to speak to, right? I know I spoke to Melissa Smith, whatever, right? I spoke to Melissa Smith, and I don't have to ask who am I talking to or whatever, who I need to speak to. All I need to do is call and say, yes, may I speak to Mark Gilbert, please? They're going to say, oh, okay, may I ask what the call is regarding? This is one of my tricks that I like to use, guys. I would say, oh, a fax that I sent them. Okay, okay, hang on one second. Hello, Mark Gilbert. Hey, Mark, this is Fabio. I had sent you guys a fax. I was just wondering if you got it. But I never sent the fax. Check this out. Check how it goes. Hang on, Fabio. Let me see. Let me see if they got the facts. Can you tell me what it was? What it's about? Oh, it was a flyer. That it's an offer that I sent you guys. Hang on, Fabio. 1 second. Let me see. I know they're gonna come back and tell me they didn't get the facts because I never sent the facts. Check this out, Fabio. I'm sorry we didn't get the facts. Can you resend it? I sure will, Mark. I sure will. I'll get that fax out to you. Would I send it to this same number that I have here on the business card? Well, what number do you have? I have da 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 da. Yeah, you can send it if you can go ahead and send it again. I'll be here. I'll get it right now if you send it away. Right, right away. I'll get it. Okay, I'll get it back out to you. That's a trick that I like to use. You see, I had to bullshit a little bit, but now he's gonna see this fax for the first time that I really never even sent. That's a tactic that I use, and it works a lot for me. I don't know if it worked for you guys, but it worked for me. I'm just crafty, So, but like I said, again, guys, it's different ways you can do it. There's no right or wrong way to run the business, right? There's no right or wrong way to pick up contracts. There's no right or wrong way to really submit estimates, right, you guys? So that's why I was compelled to come and do this video. I know it's been a very long time. I think about 3 weeks to a month, which is a very long time for me to be away from YouTube and not be consistent with the videos. But again, guys, when I'm not on YouTube, just know I'm reading. I'm advancing my education all the time. I'm reading and I'm doing. I'm reading and I'm doing. And I would advise you guys to do the exact same thing. Don't worry about what you don't know. Just work with what you do know. And everything else will fall into place. There's a lot of things that I don't know, but I don't worry about it. Right? I don't get discouraged easy. I cut a lot of people off. I'm the fakest person you know, according to some of my friends and family and associates. I'm the fakest person you know. Why? Because they can't trick me out of my position. I don't allow that. I don't allow them to trick me out of my position. I won't stand for that. So when you don't do what other people want you to do, 9 times out of 10, or a lot of times, they call you fake. Oh, you fake. He missed a big shot. He think he got everything because he got to look clean in business, and he got a transportation service, and he broker new and used cars. He think he no. I work hard. I work hard. In my car, when I'm driving, this is what I do. You see the little aux cord, whether it's this phone or the one I'm on, this is what I do. I'm telling you, it's no bullshit. This is exactly what I listen to. I'm about to show you guys. I listen to radio sometimes, but for the most part, I don't. This is what I listen to. Stuff like this.
I'm motivated by fear. I hate being scared to do something. I started attacking things that I was scared of. Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination.
Okay, so now you see what I'm saying. I listen to motivational stuff, whether it's an audio, like an audio book, like a book with the CD and stuff. I still buy CDs and put it in the CD deck thing in the car, or I plug it, listen to the audio book right off of YouTube. Mostly, a lot of these books are on audio right there on YouTube, and I plug it up, and that's how I kind of keep my motivation going, right? And, like I say, on the weekends, I might listen to the music, the radio and stuff. But for the most part, I got that aux cord. I plug it right into my phone, put it right on YouTube, put the phone on a little thing, and bam, I'm listening to that. And whoever get in the car, if I can pick somebody up, they want me to drop them off somewhere, I got to do something, they got to listen to that too, because we're not listening to the radio. You don't want to ride with me because I'm not going to cut it off. Right? So maybe you want to catch the bus or something. I don't know. But that's what I listen to. And it keep me motivated. I stay amped up. People be like, oh, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to Friday. I'm like, man, I'm having a great week. I can wait, I'm just blessed to be able to wake up and do this stuff again. Right? So I'm not the type of guy that thank God it's Friday. I'm more of, man, I can't wait till the weekend go by though, because the weekend slow me down. Even though that's all I do is sleep, the weekend slow me down. Let me see here what some of you guys are saying here. Do you think it's a good idea to advertise at the mall? Advertise what? Your cleaning business at the mall? Um, I think you should probably, if you can, see if you can pick up the mall as a contract. I would see if you can, if you can pick up the mall as a contract, but I don't think it'll be a good idea per se, because you have to think where your audience is going to come from. Is your potential client at the mall? Generally speaking, I'm not saying business owners don't go to the mall, but generally speaking, is your potential client at the mall? See, I can see a lawyer doing that because you can be injured right now. You can be at the mall on crutches. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have a broader thing. They appeal to more people. So I can see a lawyer having a little flyer post right there at the little kiosk or whatever the case is right there. And, if you've been hit by a car, this and this and that, whatever the case is, right? Because it could be a person at the mall that just had an accident yesterday in his car and he just drove it to the mall today, right? It's not, but he had an accident. He planned to sue the person, right? So I'm just kind of giving you different examples. Google, yes, I think Google is. I think you could, it's good to advertise with Google. I do personally. Because again, a lot of times people divert to, they don't even go to the yellow pages no more, like the actual book. And in many places, the book don't even exist no more, really. They tell you to go online. I'm still old fashioned. I still get the yellow pages, the book. You guys see me flip through the pages and call them here and there. So, but I still go online too. I got the yellow pages app on my phone. I got an app. So you can get the yellow pages app. And I actually go to the app, punch in what I need, boom, 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 call them up. Hey, need cleaning service, whatever the case is. That's when I do decide to make calls myself. But I generally don't do it. For my lead generation team, I have my team do that, and they place those calls. But sometimes I do call, and I do have the app on my phone, right? But no, I wouldn't suggest that you advertise, because I just don't think the person that you will be looking for will be at the mall. And I think it'll be advertising wise, which means you'll have to pay for it. I think it'll be a waste of your money. So let me see here. Are you paying for Google ads for listing in your area? No, I don't. I don't. But I think that's a good idea. I might look into that. But I don't pay for Google ads to list in my area, no. BP say, how much cleaning experience should you have to start with, or is basic skills enough to start with for commercial or residential? Um, Basic, it's okay, because you can learn as you grow. You can learn as you grow. Like, as you do more, you can learn more, right? You're not gonna know everything. It's more about your confidence level and the assurance within yourself that kind of gets you through. I remember when I first started, when I first had my first 6 accounts, I was more nervous about losing the accounts than I was cleaning the accounts. The fact that I got them, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this, man. My world has changed. Because it took me like 90 days to get one account, and now I'm up 6 accounts when I did get my 6 account. And I'm like, man, and it was just me cleaning all of these accounts back to back. Like I say, I would go 30 to 60 days in and put a body in, but I had a team of 2. I kept it real small for the longest time. I had like 2 people working in myself, and we would just bounce around. God damn. One second. Sorry, guys. As you see, the calls never stop coming in. It's always something. If it was my employee, I would have answered it, but it's not my employee, so, or it's not business related. So I see. They call both phones. Hello. Yes. Okay. I'm out right now. On the round. Okay. I'll be with you shortly though. Okay. Okay, guys, that's one of my supervisors, area supervisors. I called him over earlier, so I got to let this go. Got to meet with him and take that. But anyway, I'm going to get back with you guys. Remember what I say. What the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve only if you take action. But the only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Take care.